Hello, almost Shabbat Shalom. So, welcome everyone. Almost Shabbat Shalom. It is beautiful and sunny out there and out here. Yeah, so I decided to do something different today, and something that brings out what I love doing and how I work, and to apply certain frequencies to what I want to share with you today. And so I have here, you cannot see, well, let me see if I can make it that you will see what I have here, how it is set up. It is set up like this, and you will hear certain frequencies from the bowls that I will be using, Tibetan bowls made out of, each one is made out of 7 metals, and targets each part of our body, targets each part of our physical body and our spiritual body and our emotional existence. So our emotions have frequencies, our thoughts have frequencies, every organ in our body has a frequency. So hi, if you're here, that means that you have to be here. That you are here because you're not over there, right? I'm iLan Azoulai. I'm a spiritual life coach. I'm a sound therapist, and I use sound to help manifest the life that you want to manifest, understand your spiritual journey. And we are going through, and instead of just going through every, very abstract terms, I want to talk about something that sometimes is happening every day in our everyday life. So I just have to put these eyes to see when people are okay. So I want to talk about, of course, the portion of today, briefly to touch about a concept that is talked about in the portion of today, in portion Toldot, the lineage, and it ties into what I want to share with you about assuming. All right. So it says, it starts with this is the lineage of Isaac, the son of Abraham. Abraham gave birth to Isaac. Now, we know that the Torah doesn't use extra words, and every letter is has an exact meaning and reason to be there. At that time, Sarah was so beautiful, the mother of Isaac was so beautiful, that she was lusted after by many kings, many people. So Avimelech, at that time, when they saw Sarah, and she was an old lady, and she was very beautiful, she was taken. At that time, if she was married, if the woman was married, they would kill the husband and take the wife. So her husband told her, Abraham told her, tell her I'm your brother. And it's described how Avimelech and all his kingdom and all these people were suffering a lot of skin issues and problems, and then they discovered that actually he was her brother, and then they let her go. So why did you have your God bring upon us all these issues? So Isaac, when it says Isaac was the son of Abraham, they said, yeah, but really, Abraham was with Sarah for many, 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 many years, and he didn't bring babies. So probably it was the son of Avimelech. So then there is the addition of, no, Isaac was the son of Abraham. Abraham gave birth to Isaac. And it came to be that also God gave Isaac the same features, facial features of Abraham. So how is it tying it today? All right. So first of all, I'm playing here a sound bowl that is the sacral, targeted towards the sacral chakra, the second chakra that holds our sexuality, our creativity, our juice, our vitality. Right? Many of our issues that we have. Some of us don't have issues, of course, but many of our issues that we have are being expressed through different parts of our body, and eventually come out through the throat. And many times when the throat is blocked, it's assumed that the throat chakra needs healing, but it's actually many times the other chakras, the other areas in our lives, the other emotional areas in our lives, these are the ones that need the healing. And so that's the sacral chakra targeted sound bowl. And how is it tied in today? Assumptions. You know, I was working on what to share with you. You know, there are many things that are going on through this period. The moons, the eclipses that we have, what's going on in the world, especially from my part of the world in Israel, what is going on in Israel, and the hearts are to those who are still out there and being affected. Everybody is being affected. And many times we see things in other people and we don't really understand what's going on the other side. So as I'm working and thinking and feeling of how to share, what to share with you, you know, and it didn't happen only today, it happened in the last week several times. I received messages from people that assume things. They don't know the story. What we see many times in other people, and let's say what we see in Facebook or Instagram is really a result of what the other person wants to convey. Many times it has nothing to do with reality. Many times it has nothing to do with really what's going on. And we assume things. So now there are two things that are happening. We're assuming things. We are creating a movie in our head that is not real, that is affected only by what we see that is happening on the other side as a result. But what makes that movie real? Our own wounds, our own triggers. We get triggered. We get triggered by what people do, and what people do and what people display is only the final result of that person's journey. That person's journey led that person to assume certain things, believe that certain actions were taken to hurt that person, to believe that certain things are being said to spite that person, where in reality, for example, in my case, this person I'm talking about, I didn't talk to this person for years. For years, we're just talking over the media, and even not that, even maybe sometimes happy birthdays, but we never really talked. And the person assumes something. So now, I want to describe the process that went within me to illustrate what I'm talking about. So, for example, I was triggered by I'm being blamed, right? The person doesn't know me. I mean, we hardly talked, you know, and so I got triggered, right? I got triggered. This is the receiver side. The receiver gets triggered. The person who sends the message is triggered by whatever they believe that they saw in my videos or in my contacts or something. They got triggered. So now they are projecting their own assumptions onto me without knowing. So that's the first message that comes, or the first, right? Without knowing what's happening. There is an assumption on that side. That assumption triggers, in my place, an old wound. So I have a choice. Now, if I wasn't aware of this, if I wasn't aware of this, that's the best word I can say. Awoke, aware that, again, today the word awoke has been used terribly, in terrible connotation, in my opinion, with gender mutilation, all this kind of stuff. But if I wasn't aware of that, I would respond based on the trigger that I received from that person. So person A sees something about person B that didn't talk to, didn't communicate with. Shabbat Shalom, Lisa. Shabbat Shalom. Right? Person A assumes something, sends a dart that is fueled with that person's fears and worries and concerns that are only validated in person A's head and sphere based on what they're going through. Comes to person B. Person B, moi je sais travailler Japon. I see that. And if I'm not aware that what is happening, I would have responded or reacted based on my own trigger, my own wound, my own fear. The wound that was reawoken of being accused, of being blamed, and as a child and growing up in this kind of family was. So that would come up. And the response would be accordingly. But that did not happen, right? That did not happen. What happened is that I saw that the initial response, the initial reaction in my thing, was like a knee-jerk reaction, is that I got, whoa. And then I took a breath, 2, 3 actually, and I responded from a place of strength, from a place of, many times when somebody feels attacked and they believe that to be true, they right away want to defend themselves, be defensive. You know this sentence when somebody tells you, hey, you don't have to be defensive, right? What is this defensiveness? The defensiveness is a trigger, is a knee reaction, is a knee-jerk reaction to that accusation. So we respond when we are triggered and we don't realize that we're triggered. We respond or we react with defensiveness. Oh, I'm being defensive. Oh, I'm being. And I invited that person to a dialogue if they want to talk, but I'm not going to entertain that. Right? The person continues to be in their defensive and believe and assuming it. That's not mine. Right? So how is that tied to the part of the portion? It's because just to make sure, here are the facts. Abraham bore Isaac, not Avimelech, as they said. Just to make things clear. So it kind of comes together in this connotation, and it's a great opportunity for us in this time to see how do we perceive things. See, I always say that perception, shifting our perception is like going to a gym for our imagination. Challenging what we perceive, how we perceive what we perceive. Challenging it in the sense of, well, maybe what I see is only what I see. Maybe what I see is only happening up here. What is my contribution to this movie? Like in movies, sometimes you have director's cut, right? Director's cut, meaning that there is an alternate ending. What you saw is not the intended ending. It was chosen to be the ending because of different reasons, financial, audience, whatever. But the director meant something else. It's like when you study poetry, and the question is, well, what did the poet meant? Let's ask the poet. You know, so it's that kind of thing. It's how do we. Facebook user tells me Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Facebook user. How do we perceive? And everything starts with that. Everything starts with our perception. With our perception. How do we perceive? And our perception is many times based on where we come from, is many times based on if we didn't work on that, on our triggers, on our wound of being taken advantage of, or somebody is attacking you, or is many times coming from that place, because everybody's in a different story, but we all experience the same emotions. We all have the same set of emotions. We all have fear. We all have abandonment. We all have fear, joy. We all have anger. We all have the same set. Right? It's just we use them different times. We experience them in different time and different capacities. So, especially what's going on today, especially what we see in the media, or what you see in the media, and what you believe, and the stories that you hear, and about any subject, challenge what you hear, challenge what you see, because today, also what we see can be deceiving, right? I mean, we see deep fake and AI imitating and doing scams of different billionaires convincing you to invest in this. Today, we also cannot believe what we see, because technology is so. And technology, actually, I see it also as God creation allowing us to have the knowledge to build such a thing for our own advantage if we choose to. How are we conducting ourselves? How are we ourselves with the world? There is a sentence that talks about it. Everything is being recorded and seen. Everything that we do is being recorded and seen. In the old days, they didn't have technology, no cameras. So, God is seeing everything, God is watching everything, God is, and today we have cameras that look at everything. Everything is being watched, everything is being scrutinized, right? So I encourage, I see this as a great lesson for us, for me, for you, to challenge what you believe and not to take things face value sometimes. Sometimes somebody will say a banana is only a banana, but also a banana needed a reason to be one, right? But I'm talking about these issues when there are misunderstandings, is rather to maybe ask for the intention rather than assuming something. Because when you assume, you are creating a world in your head that doesn't exist, and then we tend projecting it on the other person. We tend creating stories, creating different. So that's what I wanted to share with you, actually. I didn't know what I wanted to share with you until I wanted to share it with you. So I work with different Tibetan bowls, different frequencies, as a tool. Sound is the ultimate medicine for body and soul. That's how I see that. And in addition to the spiritual work, it is a tool to break the ice, so to speak, break the ice, penetrate into different places that will evoke places within you to share, to yourself, to share from your subconscious to your conscious, to be aware of situations, to be aware of how you are, and to move forward. Together with that, I do voice analysis or bioacoustics, where through your voice, imprint of your voice, can discover, do you connect to what you say? Are you connecting emotionally or logically? Do you believe what you say? Do you believe what your spouse says? Do you believe what that person says, what traumas are affected and are recognized in your voice? Because our voice is a holographic representation of everything that we are. And so everything is in our voice. Also, what is missing? What frequencies are missing to bring you back into harmony? What enzymes and minerals are missing in your body to bring you back into harmony? And a healthy emotional state, a healthy spiritual state is also affecting how we perceive things, how we see things. So I welcome you to this Shabbat. This is a wonderful time. It's a great time of learning. Every day is a great time of learning. I'm blessed to be here. And you can hit me up, send me a message. If you'd like to experience more of this and discovering what's really lying underneath, and to allow to remove those filters and to fly out and to fly up. So, Shabbat Shalom, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.